Hello guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to install macOS Sequoia on your Windows PC. Now this should work whether you're using a laptop or a desktop. Here are the requirements. First, we need Balena Etcher, we need Minitool Partition Wizard, we need GenSMBIOS, we need Propertree, we need Explorer++, we need macOS Sequoia Installer file, we need Opencore EFI, we need Opencore Configurator, and lastly we need a 32 gig flash drive. Now I'm going to provide the links to each and every one of the files mentioned in the video description so you can download and follow along. Before we begin downloading and installing, we need to check our processor, and to do that hold Ctrl+Shift Escape and click on Performance. Under Performance, click on CPU, and here you can see your CPU name. In my case, I am using Intel Core i7-4790, which means this is a 4th gen processor since the naming starts with 4. Now you can confirm the code name for your processor on the screen. 4th gen processors are called Haswell, so make sure to confirm the code name for your processor. Now if you're unable to figure that out, then go to your browser and head to our website labs.etechbox.com. This is a website I built where you can easily check the code name for your processor along with other specs. Now click on check CPU and then type in your CPU name. In my case, this is called i7-4790. So you can see here the architecture is Haswell, so make sure to confirm the processor code name. Now we can head to download the required files. First, we have to download Balena Etcher. Click on the link to balena.io, and here you can click on download Etcher, and then you can download Etcher for Windows here. Next, we are going to download Minitool Partition Wizard. Click on the link to partitionwizard.com and then download Partition Wizard Free Edition. Next, we are also going to download GenSMBIOS, so search for it. Click on the link to GitHub for GenSMBIOS. Click on code and download zip. Next, we are also going to download Propertree, so search for Propertree. Click on the link to GitHub as well. Code and download zip. Next, we also have to download Explorer++. Download 64 bits. Next, we also have to download macOS Sequoia Installer file. I'm going to provide this link alongside every other link in the video description. From here, we can download macOS Sequoia Installer file. I already have this downloaded, so I'm just going to skip. After that, we have to download Opencore EFI for our PC. Now, there are 3 ways you can get EFI. You can use the Prebuilt EFI, which I'm going to provide the link in the video description here. This is for desktop PCs and this is for laptops. And this was the reason why we were checking the code name for our processor. So you can download based on your processor. In my case, I would have to download for Haswell and Broadwell since I'm using a 4th gen processor, but it may be different in your case. Now, if you don't want to use a Prebuilt EFI, then you can make your EFI from scratch. I'll link the video on how to do that in the video description. And lastly, you can request for a custom EFI from us by clicking on custom EFI or checking the video description as well. I'll leave this link there. Here you can enter your name, your email address, your CPU name, your GPU name, the macOS version you want to install, and we are going to build a custom EFI based on your computer hardware. So whichever you want is fine. If you want to build the EFI yourself, there is a video in the video description. If you want to use the Prebuilt EFI, we're also going to provide a link. And lastly, if you need a custom EFI, we can also do that by heading to this page, etechbox.com/custom EFI. Now the link to this page is also in the video description. Now for this video, I already made my EFI from scratch, and that is what I am going to use. So I won't download the EFI from here, but you can follow any of the methods. Next, we're also going to download Opencore Configurator. And the link to this will be provided in the video description as well. Here we can download. And that's all basically. Now the only thing we need is our 32 gig flash drive. So let's head back to our download folder to confirm all we downloaded. So this is our Opencore EFI folder, which is the custom EFI I made. This is Opencore Configurator. This is Balena Etcher. This is Explorer++. This is Propertree. This is GenSMBIOS. This is Minitool Partition Wizard, and this is the latest release of macOS Sequoia. Now let's start by installing Balena Etcher. Once Balena Etcher opens, connect your 32 gig flash drive or above. The image size is around 17 gigabytes. I would recommend you use a 32 gig flash drive, but if you have anything more than that, you should be fine. Now we're going to click on Flash from File, and then select the image file in our download folder, which is our Sequoia 15.7.2. Open, and click on Change for the destination. Make sure you select your flash drive, select, and then click on Flash. Now this is going to take about 20 minutes. This depends on the read and write speed of your drive, but you just have to wait. While this is running, we can work on other things. So let's minimize this. Head back to our download folder. Now let's extract our EFI folder. So let's delete the zip folder. So if you open EFI, you should see OC and boot. Now boot contains your boot file, which is bootx64, and OC contains your configuration file, your kext, and so many other things. Now if you already have your EFI ready, either the Prebuilt EFI, the custom EFI, or the one from scratch, you can proceed. So the next thing we are going to do is to generate a unique serial for our EFI. So let's extract GenSMBIOS. This is the extracted folder. Open, and then run Windows batch file for GenSMBIOS. Now you can see a prompt that Python 3 was not found on our system. So we just enter Y for yes to install the latest version of Python. Now enter 1 to install and update Mac serial. And then enter 2 to select config.plist. Head to your download folder. Here we're going to open our EFI, OC, drag config.plist and drop it inside here, and then run. Now we enter 3 to generate SMBIOS and hit enter. Now we're going to generate a unique serial for our macOS machine, and the unique serial we're going to generate is for Mac Pro 7.1. The SMBIOS you use might be different from mine, but if you're using a desktop computer with an AMD GPU, then you should use Mac Pro 7.1. I'm also going to leave a guide to this in the video description. And hit enter, and it has generated serial, board ID, and system UUID for our Mac. Now enter to return. Now we can quit, and we can delete GenSMBIOS. Now let's extract Propertree. And if you open Propertree and run Propertree Windows batch file, run, and then right here we click on File, Open, and then locate our download folder, open EFI, OC, and select our config.plist and open. Here you can see the configurations from ACPI to booter, device property, kernel, MISC, NVRAM, and platform info, UEFI as well. Platform info basically contains our serial. So under generic here, you can see the system product name is Mac Pro 7.1, and this is the serial number as well. I'm going to leave a guide to picking SMBIOS, so you know the correct SMBIOS to pick based on your CPU and your GPU combo. Under NVRAM, make sure that the boot argument has -v, which is going to help you debug in case it doesn't boot the first time you run it. So we're going to leave everything the way it is and just close this. So right now we are done with Propertree, we are done with GenSMBIOS, so we can delete both. Now extract Explorer++, and we also have to install Minitool Partition Wizard. English. We are going with the free version, so continue installing free edition. I'm just going to untick this. Next. Now let's finish, and we can delete this as well. Now we are waiting for Balena Etcher to finish writing data to our flash drive. This has taken around 15 minutes and it is still not done. So we just have to wait. Once this is done, then we're going to copy the EFI from here to the EFI partition of our flash drive, and we can begin the installation. So let's wait. The process with Balena Etcher is complete. Now we can close this, open our download folder. Now let's run Minitool Partition Wizard. The shortcut is on our desktop. Now if we look closely, you can see disk 1 and disk 2. Disk 1 is my hard drive, which basically has 120 gig. This is a SSD, and disk 2 is a removable flash drive, and you can see the icon right here. Now select the EFI partition of disk 2, right click, and then change letter. I'm going to change it to X so I can easily remember. Okay. By the right, you can see unallocated 11 gig. Let's create, continue, and we are going to call this OCC. Okay, and then apply. Yes. Now let's close this, quit, and then open Explorer++. Right click on the Explorer++ application and run as administrator. Now go to this PC and you should find EFI with letter X, open, and make sure to delete anything inside. Now we go to our download folder, copy the EFI folder which we've been working on, copy, and then paste it in EFI X partition. Now after this, we have to confirm the location where we want to install macOS before the installation. So let's go to our search bar and search for partition. Click on create and format hard disk partitions. Here you can see different partitions on our system. Disk 0 is our main drive and disk 1 is our flash drive. Now for disk 0 here, we have our C drive, which basically is 100 gigabytes. Now you can install macOS on the same drive you have Windows. That way you can partition both macOS and Windows. So when you boot, you get the option to boot with either Windows or macOS. Or you can install macOS on the second drive. But in my case, I have just one drive. So I'm going to right click and shrink volume. Now if you want to install macOS and get rid of Windows, then you can skip this step. So when you want to run the installation, you can erase it. Now you can see the storage I have is around 52 gig, which is not really enough for macOS. So I'm just going to cancel this. So when we run the installation, I'm going to erase disk 0 and wipe Windows off completely, and then run macOS since my hard drive is not enough. But if you want to keep both Windows and macOS, then you just have to shrink around 80 gigabytes for macOS, and it would still run exactly the same way. So let's proceed with the rest of it. Now let's head back to our download folder, copy OCC, head to your PC, this PC, and then the OCC partition we created, let's paste it there. And close this. Now we can restart our PC and begin the installation. Hold F2 or F12 to boot into your BIOS. It may be different depending on the PC you're using. Now go to advanced mode in your BIOS. and then go to your boot settings. First, disable fast boot. Also disable CSM and disable secure boot as well. Set OS type to Windows UEFI mode, and also go to key management. If there is any key loaded, you can clear or secure boot keys, and then head back. Here we're going to go to advanced CPU configuration and make sure Intel virtualization is enabled. Also go to system agent configuration, disable VTD. Also enable above 4G decoding. Now we can save changes and reset. Hold F8 to load boot options. Here we're going to select UEFI FAT USB, which is our flash drive, and that contains macOS. So let's run. Hit your spacebar to show all options, and then reset NVRAM. Now we're going to hold F8 again. Now select our flash drive. Now we install macOS. This video is sponsored by Remote Jobs Hive. Remote Jobs Hive is a curated job platform that connects top professionals with companies seeking remote workers across all departments and countries. Visit remotejobshive.com and sign up for free. From here, you can search for remote jobs based on your skills and apply. You can also enable job notifications to be among the first to get notified whenever there is a new job that matches your skills. There are many other great features that can assist your job search. Visit remotejobshive.com today to explore. Now back to the video. Now select a language for the setup. Continue. Go to disk utility and continue. Now these are all the drives in our PC, from our flash drive to our main drive. So the first option up there selected is our main drive, which we are going to erase. So click on erase. It currently contains Windows. You can give it whatever name you want. I'm just going to call this macOS Sequoia. And then for the format, change it to APFS. That is the format macOS recognizes and would work. Now we erase. Done. Now let's close this window. Select install macOS Sequoia and continue. Continue again. Now agree to the terms. Select the drive we erased just now and continue to begin the installation. Now this is going to take about an hour or even more to install. It all depends on your hardware. It may restart severally while installing, but that's totally normal. Now if it restarts, simply select your flash drive again and then select macOS Sequoia instead of running the installation again. And after 1 hour 30 minutes, the installation is successful. Click on Get Started. Now set a language for your Mac and continue. Select your country or region, and you can set everything else based on your personal preference. Here we're going to create a user for our Mac and continue. Agree to the terms and conditions. And you can choose the mode you want. And we are done with the setup. Continue. Now the reason why the background is white is because we don't have any graphics card in our PC right now. But if we insert one, it would just work without us doing anything. Now let's go to about this Mac. And you can see it is working fine. macOS Sequoia 15.7.2, and the processor is also reflecting fine. There is no GPU currently, that is why it is showing 11 megabytes. But if we put in a compatible GPU like RX 5700 or any other compatible GPU, it should work just fine. One last thing though, we have to move the EFI from our flash drive to our main drive. And to do that, we need Opencore Configurator, which is right on our desktop. So let's open the OCC partition we created and then copy occ.zip to our desktop. Close this and then double click to extract. Now let's open Opencore Configurator. Click on Done and then click on the Apple logo at the top left and go to System Settings. Scroll to Privacy and Security by the side and then scroll down and open anyway to allow Opencore Configurator to run. Now we can close this window. Just look through the top right corner and you should see Opencore Configurator icon. Now we're going to mount partition for our flash drive, which is the SanDisk 3.2. And we're going to mount for our main drive as well. Now we are going to open the partition as well. This is for the flash drive and the one below is for the main drive. Now let's drag it to the side. So inside our main drive, we have just an empty EFI since it's just one drive, which we are going to delete. So let's delete that EFI in the main drive and then copy our EFI from our flash drive to our main drive. Paste. Now if we had both Windows and macOS, or if you want to run both Windows and macOS, instead of deleting the EFI from our main drive, you would open the EFI on your flash drive and copy boot and OC file. So just copy and then open the EFI on your main drive. You should see Windows there if you had Windows, and then we can paste it. This way you have both Windows and macOS and you'll be able to boot between both. So now we're going to eject our flash drive since we are done. So eject all. And we're going to close this and just delete occ.zip since we no longer need it. Now we can restart our PC, remove the flash drive, and we should be fine. So let's restart. And the installation is complete. So basically, this is how to install the latest release of macOS Sequoia on your Windows PC. You can see the flash drive we used to run the installation, and this is the PC we are using for this installation. If this video was helpful, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on your post notification. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.